Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. Alright, bruv, what is going on, bruv? Man, the thing trying to choke me. Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys as a quick reaction. We're dealing with B. Simone, and we are talking about, well, her latest video, why she's trending. She spoke about how certain women are trying to attract certain men, and they need to do certain work before the time. So, I'm gonna play the video as well for you guys and react to that. At the same time, I'm gonna have a conversation about how men rate women, or how men decide how they place women in a certain pecking order for themselves as well, right? But it's a very complicated system, but we're going to talk about it, break it all the way down. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification up. Lows, we appreciate you. Stay locked and stay loaded. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Alrighty then. Let me get the video up and let's play. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's play the video now. I just want to say, I think she used the word female dog a few times in this video, so I do apologize. And I think there's a swear word in there, there's an F word in there. I'm gonna try and stop it before we get to that point. So yeah, do apologize ahead of time. I don't know.
But here's the little challenge. We got all these things we want in a man. A list of things. He got to be tall. He got to be dark. He got to be handsome. He got to have pretty teeth. He got to be a family man. He got to be financially stable. He got to be rich. He got to be successful. He got to be all these things. And we ain't even half the things on that list. He got to be a family man. Bitch, you ain't talked to your mama in 6 months, but you want him to be a family man. He got to be financially stable. Your account is in the negative, ma'am. Overdraft fees. He got to have a job. You need to go fill out some applications because you're still unemployed. He got to have pretty teeth. You ain't seen a dentist in 6 years. He got to have a six-pack and be in shape. You can't even walk up a flight of stairs without huffing and puffing. Get your life together. His whole list that he got to be. You ain't even half the things on that list. So this is what I challenge you to do so we can manifest love all 2021. Make that list of that perfect dream man that you got in your mind. Then, what I did, make a list of the type of woman he would need right by his side. You want him to be in shape? You need to get to the gym. Equally yoked, bitch. You want him to be financially stable? Well, you need to start saving. Because you can't keep a dime to your name. Huh? You want him to be a family man? Call your mama. You become a family woman. Heal your traumas before you put all this shit on him. You want him to be patient. Bitch, your patience is thin. You want him to be understanding. You the least understanding person in your circle of friends. But he got to be understanding. Fix you. Fix you. Whatever you want, become that. Fuck. He got to be.
I tried to stop it before it got there, but guys, it got there. Now I want to just break this down because I think there are some really good points that are made by B. Simone, right? In the sense that, you know, you want to be what you're trying to attract, right? But I think a lot of it's obviously cemented in the law of attraction, which you guys already know I don't get down with. I don't believe it's of God. It's spiritual, but it's not of God, yeah? The Bible says there are many gods and many lords, and those things are not talking about Jesus Christ, the Lord. But so I can understand the points that are being made about becoming something that you're trying to say that you want in another person, right? But it's really interesting that a lot of men have said, you know what, this is the message that we have been telling women we've been telling women, etc., and they don't want to hear it, right? What's interesting is the paradoxical mindset, and when I'm going to talk about paradoxical, what I mean by that is that they are holding a dichotomy, right? They're holding two opposing views, because the opposing view is this: whilst I agree that part of, you know, you should be doing work to get better for yourself, to become a better person in all aspects, financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, whatever, right? You want to improve on those things, right? And that should obviously open you up to more opportunities with people who are more healthy in those particular environments. But the paradoxical view here, especially from men who hold this, is that we've been telling women that's how it should be, is that they also hold the view that there is no equal weight that men put to these things, right? Which I also agree with, right? Men do not put an equal weight to you having, having money or having finances or having a degree, right? That's the whole reason why, yeah, we had a whole video of the average at best on Kevin Samuel's site, okay, talking about this woman who earns 6 figures but had a child or two and wants to attract a 6-figure man. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I don't remember her saying she wanted a man without kids. So she wasn't asking for much. She's asking for a man that makes six figures, a high value male, right? Which I don't think is a problem. Yeah, I didn't think it was a problem, because if she earns six figures, by B Simone's own words, which the men are agreeing to, the men are saying, for the manosphere side of things, are saying, we absolutely agree with what B Simone is saying. So how come when she's saying that she's bringing the stuff to the table, which is, this is what I bring, I'm expecting a man to bring the same thing, we're saying it's completely different? So you don't agree with B Simone. See, this is the whole point. You don't. The thing is this: a lot of them do not care about it being true. What they care about, a lot of them, is, like I keep using this word, misogyny. It's about power and control. Some of you have got the same complex white people have got. You want to control women. That's your own. You don't believe women deserve better. You only believe that you who give better, that you only believe that you deserve to give these particular women better. So if the woman wants, if the woman wants better by her own admission, you don't agree with it, because now she has agency and freedom to do so. It's only when you decide to say you deserve it, you're happy with it. Let me go back to my original point, why I'm saying this, just in case you missed what I said. B Simone has said, ladies, right? If you want the man that's got money, make sure your money's up. Ladies, if you want a man that's got a good body, make sure your body's correct. Ladies, if you want a man that has a financial plan, make sure you got savings, right? She's saying, make sure you have all these things if you're trying to ask for it from men. Yeah. Then the men are agreeing with her point. They've backed it, saying, we've been saying this for the longest time. Da 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 da. And I'm saying that's a paradox, because at the same time, these same men are also saying that these things do not hold equal weight. When a woman has money, it doesn't bring equal weight to when a man chooses a woman of high value. So therefore, this thing that they're backing makes no sense, because it does not actually agree with their actual theology. And this is why I'm saying, when your theology is rooted in hate, logic and sense go out the window. You know what I mean? Sense, and I'm saying about a particular group, because there are sensible men out there, but a lot of men have an entitlement issue, and they can't see beyond their privilege. It's the same thing that white people do to black people, that use illogical arguments of fallacy and strawmans to make sure that black people can't get equality when it comes to equality and equity when it comes to us coming to the table in society. They use the same ad hominems. All right, cool. So if the weight is not equal, in the sense of you want a man that's got money, and you having money is not the equal weight in terms of asking for a man of a similar stature, then that equation that you're backing B Simone for doesn't actually hold water. If men are not looking at women, if high value men, according to Manosphere, the Kevin Samuels, the AMSs, the mediocre thingy, whatever they're called, right? Which I actually, like I said, a lot of them have some truth in there. I don't agree with everything they say. They got some truth in there when it comes to leveling up. If the truth is that men are not looking at women according to their financial pay packet, they're not looking at women, they're not looking for women in terms of your degree and everything like that, blah, blah, to choose a man, whether, you know what I'm saying, like, if you've got a great banging body, you don't definitely deserve a good looking man. Then if that's the case, if we're saying that, then the equation doesn't work. And so for me, I agree with what B Simone is saying, that you want to get yourself to a level to help your chances of attracting this male. Let's call it that. Make your chances as best as possible by leveling it up in these areas. But the one thing that's a problem is the financial area. You level up in the financial area, and by the admission of high value males in the manosphere, they don't care about that. So this is not a guarantee, and it's not a good equation to attract a kind of man that is. Now, here's my kind of, I guess, my nuance here, which I think certain people won't, from certain degrees, won't accept. There are a lot of people who play to society's rule and hierarchy, right? And there's a lot of people who don't. But the problem is, those who are playing to society's rules have a louder voice, because they are the majority, not the minority. What do I mean by this? The game called dating, or the game called life, is ruled by a certain level of parameters, okay, that govern the game that we play. right? And I'm going to break it down for you. Here's the rules that we play that governs the natural order of things. Men, you should be providers. You should be providers financially, and the more that you can provide financially, the greater the chance of you being able to have a greater aspect of choice when it comes to women. And the reason being is because when women are looking at men, they are looking at provision, wealth, safety, security, power, and status. If you have those things, you are going to be a better choice for women, biologically. And since a lot of people listen to their biology and not realize, okay, unfortunately, the game is rigged to that parameter. And it starts from there that way. Then when men are looking at women, because the game is rigged due to the fact that obviously certain parameters are in place, when men are looking at women, they're looking at your looks. Because if the man's got status, wealth, and power, he's looking for the baddest bee, okay, out there. And that is, I will say that with a nuance too, the baddest bee, not one that is, it's not just anything and everything. And I'm going to break down the nuance here as well, because there's something in there. But it's not just any bad girl. You understand? Yeah. Although some men are, right? Some men are just, they don't really care what, the woman, if she's got brains or not. They just want the baddest girl out there, right? And that's speaking to something else. And we'll talk about that as well. So the game is rigged with a set of parameters. I'll show you why. I just did a video with the Shira 7 talking about the women lying thing, right? Someone made a comment about, yes, Kojo was triggered by the Dusty comment because he had a conversation with his ex-girlfriend or whatever, when she, and I'll tell you the story. So basically what happened was, me and my ex at the time were talking, and she was like, I like a man that provides. And I said, what does that actually mean to you? And you know, because she was saying obviously she wants a man to provide, she wants a man to pay for stuff. And I said, okay, so what does that actually mean? Because I don't want to misconstrue what you're going to say. I like to communicate. I like to find out what people actually mean when they're saying something. So she explained, oh, I'm talking about when we go on dates, like I want a man to pay, I want a man to this, that. And then she explained, and I said to you, she explained how it made her feel. And then I said, because you've explained it and you've explained how it makes you feel and why you want to do it, I can rock with that. What I can't rock with is entitlement. I deserve to be paid for. I don't rock with that. So I was trying to assess, is it an entitlement attitude, or is it actually that you can identify why you want this to happen? Because I don't rock with entitlement. That's just me. I don't do it. Yeah, I don't play because that's, I'm going to talk about there's certain males and women who don't play the social hierarchy game. They don't want to play it, right? They'd rather not. They'd be outside of it, and they oftentimes are the rebels. They're the ones that when it comes to formalities, don't want to do formalities. They're always outside of the box, it seems, right? Oftentimes I've described them as a Sigma male, the lone wolves. The lone wolves do not conform to society's hierarchy games and rules. They play it completely differently, right? They are always questioning, why do you do it that way? Why is it we have to do it that way? Why must we go that way? Right? So when I'm asking always a why question. Like, okay, why is it that so when she gave me the answer, I said, fantastic. You know what? You've explained it very, very well. You've explained how you feel. I can rock with it. I don't mind playing by this rule. Right? I don't mind playing by this rule. Yeah? Let me stay hydrated. Okay. So sorry about that. Coughed into that. I know it's gonna be loud for you guys. So now obviously when it comes to the dating game and how people are choosing their partners, evidently majority of people are going to play the game by the social hierarchy. They're going to play it by society standards. And even those who are playing outside of the confinements of the rules still have to, in some shape or form, conform to aspects of the game, irrespective. Right? And so for any male, he's going to level up financially, and that will give him a greater pool of women to choose from. A woman, that's why she goes and gets plastic surgery now, because she understands beauty capital and understands that men are choosing women according to beauty first, just like Esther in the Bible. This is nothing new. You're choosing a woman based on her beauty first, and then they can assess the character. Okay, cool, we're back. Yeah. So they assess, they look at the beauty first and then assess the character after. Same thing with Esther. Esther was beautifying herself for 6 months one part, another 6 months. So it's 12 months in total, a whole year, yeah? Which is 12 is a number of establishment or governmental rule in a sense, right? Things being cemented, right? So at the 12 month, she's appointed, which is also another term that we use for the number 12 in the Bible, appointment, right? So she's now appointed to be in the presence of the king, right? Xerxes. And Xerxes has already seen her beauty, so he's excited by that. Now, what's going to keep her there is character, and what's going to keep her there is the way that she views life. So you have to understand that men who have obviously who are high value, oftentimes are going to play by society's rules, are going to view it as, are you buff to me? Are you buff to me first, and then I'll look at your character. Whereas with women, because of the experiences that they had, oftentimes they start coming out. They start inner coming out. Sorry, they're now a lot of women who have been hurt by boys and stuff like that realize, okay, good looks are really not it. Like, I'm not looking for good looks. I'm looking for a bit of both, right? A mixture. Like, I need to be attractive, but I can change my scope of how I'm attracted to a man, right? And so now they're looking for the heart, the character, instantly as much as they're looking for the looks. Whereas men are looking from outer to inner. Let me see the looks. I'm attracted. Let me move. All right, cool. Let me get to know you. So it's interesting because, like I said, when we're dealing with the B. Simone situation, let me get to my notes to make sure I've got this on right as well. One of the reasons why I think B. Simone's message it wasn't well received, again, is communication. I keep saying this about communication is king. The way that you communicate is so important to how people are going to receive you. When you go to a TEDx, there's a reason why you see the way that they carry themselves in a TEDx. A TEDx has a certain level of energy that the person brings. They can be excitable, they can be energetic, they can be, free flowing, whatever you bring to the table, you can be fine. But you will notice that there's a way that these people try to communicate to the audience. And the reason being is that because information that's getting passed, you want it to be able to receive in the most palatable format possible for the person who's listening to you. Similar to what I'm doing. I'm trying to deliver this information in a way that is palatable and understandable to the individuals. When you're on the news people do the exact same thing. When they are delivering information to you, they deliver it in a certain format so it's palatable. And so that it carries a certain image as well. Okay? So it's very important. So when you're doing all the bat, beat, bat, you instantly draw a certain crowd towards the beat, bat, right? Because there's only certain people that can allow themselves to take in that kind of information in that format. Do you see what I'm saying? Right? So it's the whole, the high pitched voice, the gesticulation, the over exaggeration of movement that she puts in her videos, oftentimes is what turns people off, men and women. Right? As much as the men are agreeing to her now, they get annoyed by her because she does too much in her videos. You know what I'm saying? But because the message backs their point today, they're called to go be Simone. Let me continue because I want to just break down something as well to you guys. The actual problem with the situation at hand. Okay, there are things when men say it, women find it difficult to hear, right? But I always, again, go back to the original point of communication. To be able to communicate hard truths is about 1, love, and 2, delivery. If you don't exist in these pandiagrams, I think it is, of the whatever, these in these particular spheres, right? These particular spheres of communication and delivery, you are going to struggle to deliver a hard truth without causing the people to not want to listen to you, which is why I said about the Kevin Samuel situation. Information that is hard truths, when we as men want to deliver some hard truths to women, let's say, for instance, ladies, let me be very frank with you. You lead with your degree, a lot of man, this is not every man, a lot of man, you will find a man who doesn't mind this, a lot of man will find it antagonistic. They're not going to. If you lead with my degree, I expect to have a man of this particular caliber. A lot of men who are quote unquote high value won't buy into that due to the fact that it doesn't play into the system. Your degrees and your finances necessarily don't mean that you're so much higher up on the league table. So I've missed even a part here. There are league tables. It's that simple. And you cannot ignore the league table, right? But the league table is conceptual in the sense of the fact that it is literal in the terms of the fact that how people view you, but also how you view yourself. And these intersect at different points. And that's what makes it very difficult. So if someone is not realistic about where they stand, right, in terms of where they put themselves in a league table, unfortunately, okay, what can happen is there can be a point in time where it will look like you're either arrogant or seem like you're lacking confidence, right? And so if you don't correctly place yourself in the table where others also assign you to be, they can look like arrogance or like you are lacking confidence. And which is why when Kevin Samuel's doing the whole rate yourself, it's problematic because in effect, the scale is too small. Number one, 1 to 10 is a very small scale, and nobody's a 10, he says. So that, you know what I mean? Like, it's a very small scale, and it doesn't take into account. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to put you. Oh, this is your scale, but this is where I put you, and this is where you're putting yourself. And like I said, between 4, 5, and 6 is a very small scale. And again, it's conceptual. It's hard to bring into the forefront. So when women sometimes may see it as they've got finances or they've got a degree or, you know what I'm saying, I bring this, that to the table. Sometimes what men are trying to say from the manosphere side, which I kind of agree with, I'm not saying everything I agree with their things. What I kind of agree with is that a lot of men don't look at your degree and they're not looking at your finances when they earn enough. But I would say there's an added nuance to that a lot of these men who say that also are, I would call them original omegas, deltas, and gammas, okay, and beta males, meaning they didn't always get girls. So of course they want to choose a girl who doesn't have finances because it's a power move. It's so silent. It's so silent. It's a power move. I'm not saying that men. I'm just saying that for a lot of these men, it's a power move because the man who has had bare girls, whose mindset is healthy, in a sense, when I say healthy, in the sense of the fact that he can recognize that, listen, there's certain behaviors that are unhealthy in his own side. He's able to be self-aware, conscious about himself. He understands that, listen, when he's got to a stage, using women is not correct. You know what I'm saying? He wants to have a healthy relationship. When you have a healthy relationship and a healthy mindset, and you've had experience with women, I find that you look at men, they choose women on a more equatable scale. So the whole men don't go for women who got money, yeah. When they've not experienced women, I agree. They don't want to choose women that are equatable to them because again, it's speaking to the little boy. Oh my days! Let me get some water and stay hydrated, baby. For a lot of these men, it's speaking to the little boy who didn't get girls, right? And now you've got to a position of power. Why would you want a girl that's equatable to you? Because you are trying to speak to the little boy. Now, the most important thing for you now is to show out. So you want a girl that looks bad, but might not have the equatable skills that matches your level. And then what happens is that gets superimposed onto some women are not feminine. Though I agree, some women some women have too much masculine energy. I would say that oftentimes it gets superimposed sometimes onto women they're not submissive enough. And the reason why they're not submissive enough is because most of them are not great leaders. Right? Because they're still struggling with the inner boy and all they've done is cover it up with finances. Or with a platform, or status, or power. All they've done is cover it up. Do you understand? And this goes back to our attachment styles. I'm telling you because my attachment style is not secure. My attachment style was what is it avoidant? I can't remember the one where you're distant. That's my attachment style. But because I can actually think about the actions as to why things are going, I'm looking at it going, so why would you not want someone who's equatable? Why would you not want someone that's equatable? Yeah, do you understand, right? Because someone who's equatable can still be submissive. Somebody who's equatable can still be submissive, right? So the issue isn't the submissiveness. The issue is how you view yourself and what you want because of what you've experienced for a lot of these guys, I believe. Right? I'm not cussing them. I'm kind of just trying to break down the actual understanding of the reasons why certain men are looking at certain gal. Right? For instance, when we look at Obama and Michelle Obama and Obama, listen, these are two giants in the game. Obama is not no slouch, and Michelle is definitely not a slouch. Why do they work out together? Confidence, a confident attachment style, more than likely. They've experienced life in a different way. Met his match because he can see a vision for where he wants to go. He's not power hungry in a relationship. Healthier mindset. Do you understand? There are various factors as to why someone views a partner in a certain way. And all I'm trying to allude to is that sometimes it's a power move that is speaking from our little boy to the older man. The subconscious is speaking to the consciousness in the way that it chooses. So, you want to have somebody who's going to, and when I say challenge you, I say this gently in the sense of I'm not looking for someone to dominate me, because sometimes some women will say, you want a man. I had this in a conversation over time. You want men don't want a woman to challenge them. They're weak. No, what we don't want is a mum. I don't need a mum. You understand? I don't need a mum. Do you understand? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The breed situation. We don't want that. You understand? When we're saying our co-equal, what we want for you is to be able to complement us. You understand? That doesn't mean you lower yourself. It means you're able to complement us. That masculine energy that you take in your workplace, you don't bring it into a relationship. And I'm going to release a video where I'm talking about the greatest gift a woman can give to a man is the fact she gives an undying support and belief that he can make it big, that he can always do better, that he's doing great stuff now, and he will do great stuff in the future. Her belief in him can make him invincible, bulletproof. Do you understand? So oftentimes in these situations, let me go to my notes and just get that up as well. So there's oftentimes I see that I think a lot of men are choosing pretty girl over, let's say, yes, having your finances intact, everything like that, blah, 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 because they can see there's a power struggle that's going to happen. And I want to be honest, sometimes there is. Sometimes women who have, and we saw this is exactly what the Brie and the Vincent situation is. The power struggle isn't necessarily that you're power hungry. The power struggle is the fact that you are regimented in a certain way. And when you come into a relationship, you don't know how to change that. And you don't think you have to change it because of what you've experienced in the workplace or what you experienced in life, what you've achieved. And so sometimes there's now a power struggle because the submissiveness becomes an issue because you don't see it. You see yourself as being, I can tell you what to do just like you're telling me what to do. And while I believe that both parties should be able to communicate and say how they feel, I've always said this. Though both people can be a leader in different areas of life, there is going to come a time where you're going to need to be able to say someone's driving the car. Now, the head of the relationship is never the man. The head of the relationship is Jesus. I will say that straight, okay? But in the relationship, there are decisions that need to be made at a point in time. That man should be able to lead you correctly. He should be able to do that. And good leadership doesn't mean I take every decision without your consent. It means I'm able to consider your point of view and use wisdom to know when it's the right time to listen and when it's not. When Abraham listened to Sarah, he got in trouble. It wasn't the right time. Do you see what I'm saying? It just wasn't the right time. Not that she's not wise, not that she's not able to be listened to. It wasn't the right time to listen to her at that point in time. Good leadership knows when to take on another viewpoint and when to apply it. And sometimes that takes you having to learn this on the job. But good leadership looks at taking on information and being able to say, hey, do you know what? Boom, let's go with that. Let's go with that. That works. Let's go with that. You're right. That's wisdom in that. Let's go forward. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to consider here, and I've kind of covered a few subjects in between one. I think that, a lot of us guys are covering up our insecurities as the way that we choose women. Do you know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not supporting the woman that's going to try and dub you into the ground or control you or dominate you. I'm also too not jumping on the men that think that they deserve to lead because they have money. No. No, like you want, the Bible says that both parties should submit to one another, right? And so the most important thing here is that you're able to work as a team if you're in a relationship to have a healthy relationship, right? But back to my last point, to the original video, I believe that B. Simone said some correct things. I just think that in a lot of that, a lot of things get lost because people have agendas. And so her points make a great point for her, a great point for the men in the manosphere, but it doesn't really make sense because of the way that men choose women, like you said. So therefore, her bringing to the table all the things she brought wouldn't make a difference. But yeah, guys, I've gone for half an hour. That is meant to be a quick review. My bad, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the what uploads, baby. We appreciate you. Stay locked, stay loaded, baby.